All right. Hi. So you aren't making enough money and don't know why. Is your happiness dependent on how much money you make? Mine was. Even though I made 40 million in my 30s, it never was enough. And when I learned the secret of the end result was only an emotion, I could finally have what I wanted, which was happiness and generosity. Are you aware of what will give you more money? Are you aware of what more money will give you? If you invest your energy, at least try it on and see if you want it. See, I used to think that money would make me happy. So Elon Musk should be the most happiest man on earth. So it does not correlate with how much money you make, how much money you have, and happiness. But it does up until a point, and that is the average of the nation. So, how much money do you want? Imagine for a moment, allow yourself to dream, to think from your creative side, the youngest version of you, the joy side. And how much money do you want? And imagine, write that number down, and imagine you have it. Imagine that you have this money. Just see it. See yourself having this money. Feel it. Feel, what is it like to have, to be worth this much money? And when you have it, as you know it, what would someone say to themselves? What would you say knowing you had this money? I imagine, like most, you'll feel safe. You'll feel free, liberated to finally do what you want. Good. This is the secret of the emotion of the end result. It's to go for what you want and then imagine having it. It helps pull us through. And what you'll begin to notice is that if you have resistance to this, which we all have resistance to more money, we're just not so much aware of it. So take that number, that amount of money that you have written there, write it on your, and if you haven't written on your piece of paper, write it on a blank piece of paper and circle it. And just think about that number. When I have this much money, then I'll be, what will it be for you? When you have all this money, what will it be? Mm. Mm. Mine was, then I'll be good enough. To my prover, to prove that I was good enough. Mm. So now look at that number and double it. Now, when you think about that number doubled, what resistance do you have to that number? Measure it from 0 to 10. If it's a 10 resistance, it means you'll never be able to have it. Like that doubling, oh, that was too far away. You can't have it. But if it was lower, maybe it was only a 2. Like, no, I can have that. There's no resistance to it. Great. Triple your number. And if you go too far, you'll lose the meaning of it, which means you just got to scale it back and put a new time frame on it, because time will always trigger us. So how about if you were to make $15,000? Do you have resistance to that? Do you have resistance to making $15,000 every hour? No matter what, it's still the same resistance. Can you make $15,000 an hour? Most people say no. That was my number. That was like, oh, I can't go any higher than that. And what I found was like, oh, not only did I have a maximum, like what I can allow myself to have, but then we also have a minimum in which we would allow ourselves to have. And we oscillate, stuck between the high point and the low point. And this is where we settle with our life. And all I've done is just tripled your number, just increased it by 3, a multiple of 3. Just by putting it in awareness, because we don't look at it this way. We're so afraid of, oh, you tripled my number. I'm so afraid I can't make it. And we avoid it. Good. So now just write that tripled number down there and just sit in that. And whatever time frame you put on is perfect. But just like, oh, can I have that? Someone's there, just imagine someone shows up to deliver it to you. It's like, I deliver this to you, this amount, $15,000 every hour. Would you take it? Just notice there's aspects that say yes and no. And now it's like, if you take it and be like, oh, what would you be doing? Just notice the truth. Ask what's true for you. How are you being? Like, who is this person that's being? How do you be this? And imagine having this amount of money just because you love it. And then it's like, oh, through that, it's like, oh, I can have peace, power, passion, and purpose. As I look through peace, power, passion, and purpose, looking back at who you are now in this moment, what do you need to know? What is true in the direction of your peace, power, passion, and purpose? That was just an introduction to one of 20 change processes I know. This one that you experienced was called the wisdom process. In the next video, So what is your obvious action? That was the wisdom process. It's just one of 20 for massive, rapid change that you can learn how to do for yourself free in 30 days. And if you check out the next couple of videos, if you click the link below, there'll be 2 more videos plus an opportunity for you to experience one of the most massive shifts around money. And plus I invite you to a live session. I invite you to a powerful process to remove resistance around money that you are unaware of. By clicking on the link, you'll see a couple more videos and an opportunity to be a part of this process yourself. So don't miss out. Don't miss out on your opportunity to have 30 days to have what you want. To know that what you want, all that you want, is an emotion, and how to step in to the emotion of the end result so that you can create and use tension to remove the resistance so that you can flow for what you want. This is the fastest way that I know how to structure your life. Remove the resistance so you can have what you want. This is changing the world. This is changing people's lives. This has changed my life, and I am excited to share it with you. So don't miss out. Don't miss out on your free opportunity for 30 days, as well as a massive change around money blocks that you are unaware you have. So now, welcome. Video number 2. And this is what you resist persists. So know that on the last video, we worked around what your maximum and minimums about money are. See, our money is all entangled in our purpose, in our power, in our passion, and in our peace. And it's all working together either in the direction of flowing. So we're either flowing for what we want or we have resistance to what we want. And I want to give you an example so that you can experience resistance for yourself. Take out another piece of paper, a blank piece of paper. On the right-hand side, 5 things that you want. And number 1 is write in all my money, just so it's in there. So write out at least 5 things there. Thank you. Just think about having those 5 things. What would life be like? What would it be like to have all of that? That's great. Now, as you look at those 5 things, you look at that list. Now ask yourself, why can't I have that? What are 5 reasons that you can put down? List more if you can, of why you are not allowed to have that, why you can't have those things. And just notice the feeling, the difference between the 2 places. On one side, it's that is what you want. You really would just love to experience that and just feel it. It's oh, you would just love to have that. This is what I want. I'd love to have these experiences in my life. And then look at the other side and say, this is all the reasons. This is what I tell myself that I can't have it. This is why I can't have that. And for all of us, if we go deep enough, they come down to a childhood wounding. There's one of 6. Usually we have one dominating and a couple of stragglers. I'll share with you my 3. My main one was that I am not good enough. My core wounding as a child of why I couldn't have what I wanted, success, money, happiness, love, whatever, why I couldn't have it because I was not good enough. This is what I told myself. This is my childhood wounding, that I'm not good enough. But for me to be good enough is I could prove that I was. So for me, it was a huge prover. I had to prove. That had me going for more, for bigger, the next largest one, the next shiny object. And when I got there, when I arrived there, I was still empty and frustrated. A lack of control. And all I could come to is I'm not good enough until I can do more, be more, have more. And I thought it was my money. When I had my money, then I would be good enough. Number 2 wounding for me was I was not capable. I didn't have it. I didn't have it in me to do it. But someone else always did. There was always someone more capable than me. And it was so I would go out and look for skills, capabilities, learning, teaching, coaches, certification finding, like always just giving that I couldn't find what I was looking for inside of me. It was always out there. And that is us giving our power away. And my 3rd one is that I was insignificant, that this was entangled with my prover, and it was never going to be enough. And that it had to be hard to be valued. Because for me to do anything worthwhile, I had to be hard work because that was the only thing that could be valued. And hard work was not fun. That was until I realized that I had coded this world up for myself and that I could change it. And I'm here to help you find yours, reveal your sabotaging pattern so that you can let go of it, because what you resist will persist. But I had to let go of my true wounding. And my ego did not like to be wrong. So I encourage you to look through what is your sabotaging pattern. I've given you 3. I'm not good enough. I'm not capable. I'm insignificant. 3 other ones that tie very closely with this is the I'm not worthy. And this is worthy of love, usually worthy of giving love and receiving love. So I'm not worthy. This can be a value as well, but it's I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. A person will give, and never allow anything in return. Another one is I don't belong. I don't belong. This can be aloof. This can be a bull in a china shop. It's all different sides. It's just, I don't belong. There's a fear of missing out, a fear of not being included, a fear of not belonging, being left alone. And that is a big problem in our society today. And the last one is I'm not perfect, meaning that everything either has to line up perfect, be perfect, structured just right. It has to be these expectations. And if they're not that, then it can't work. So it's just around everything being perfect. So these are our core patterns, and they each sound different to each of us. We play them all, but we have a main personality. We have a main sabotaging pattern that plays over and over. And what I encourage for you is to become aware of your voice. Become aware of that voice that's telling you the sabotaging belief. Because when you can see the pattern, it becomes predictable and you can change it. So think about this wounding and just see where it shows up in your life. Pick one and try it on and say, is this my wounding? What might it sound like, feel like if this was the wounding in my life? And just for now, just notice it, because we'll build you up so that you can learn how to massively change it. And remember, what you resist will persist. So that's why you keep playing, I'm not good enough. It was what you had to do to survive as a child. And in the next video, we're going to step into this resistance, allow it to be so that it can be let go of, so that it no longer controls you. It no longer runs you. You no longer yearn and ache and searching for it, because you are already it. So welcome, the third video, the last one, just before the massive process. It's called a 3-chair. And what I'm going to do is have you look at yourself and money and see why you can't get along, why you are resisting each other, and then remove all this resistance, all these blocks, so that you can flow and use one another to the maximum potential for both of you. So now I just want to, we're carrying with us, carrying the theme of the sabotaging beliefs from last video. And the sabotaging beliefs is what, like my big ones, my first 3 were, I was not good enough. Like nothing would be good enough. That I was, and part of like, I'm not good enough was always about proving, was always about proving and going for more. Number 2 is not capable. It's like always someone else was better than I was, and I didn't have it in me to do it. And 3 was insignificant, that I was never going to be big enough, never going to have it, that it was hard work was the key for that. And so what I encourage you to do is to pick one for you and just try it on today. And so close your eyes, and we're just going to do a quick thought experiment. You don't have to close your eyes if you are uncomfortable with that. I just find it quiets our thinking mind easier. So just imagine 1,000 babies were lined up in your mind. And just imagine that all 1,000 babies are doing what 1,000 babies would do. They're all safe. They're all taken care of. They're just there and you're witnessing, you're observing them. Now imagine these 1,000 babies that are there and they're all doing all sorts of things. Just let it be. Now, see if you can pick out the baby that is not good enough. Yeah, out of that 1,000 that are there, examine, stop and examine and ask and see, is like, how would you know this one's not good enough? Just to allow yourself, just notice that the resistance to this, it's fine. You're just observing it for the first time. This is way deep. Good. Now you're getting the hang of it. Now you're just kind of going through. Yeah, now you're checking. It's like, all right, yeah. All right, now check which ones are not capable. What is it? What are they not capable of? Good. Are they capable of happiness? Are they capable of making their money? Are they capable? Why not? Just notice these are babies. Before they can talk, they're not even a year old. They can just scoot around. They can't even, they're all in diapers doing baby things. Good. Which ones are insignificant? How would you know? Just ask, is this baby insignificant? Are you insignificant? What do they tell you? Yeah, just allow all those babies to collectively come together and tell you no. No, and just feel that resounding no. And now imagine you as one of those babies. You are no longer going to accept that label. Good. And just remember the first time this young child accepted that, made up this sabotaging belief. Imagine in your head that you could just float back to that time, seeing when you were this child, seeing the first moment you had this thought. Just notice what is around you. See who is there. Observe what's going on. And just before that choice, notice what decision was made. Notice how this belief became truth. And as you go back, bring your wisdom to this child and say, introduce child. Yes, we have a choice. This was the best choice we could make in the moment, but I come back with wisdom. Do you see all the patterns, how this plays out, child? And just see the dissatisfaction. All aspects, see the contracts that were designed and created, knowing that it was just here to keep us safe. Thank you for all this resistance. Notice this contract and give these parts new responsibility, new to connect it into the child's peace, into a child's innocence, into the child's presence, into the heart of a child. Just imagine that, have that, be that. And now make your choice as one to make that choice together. And now take these steps forward from this choice. This pattern no longer plays here anymore. This pattern no longer has control here. This pattern no longer is on repeat. Just let it go. Feel it. Let go through your whole body. And know that this new structure, this new choice, this new you, grow it, bring it all the way out, bring this self all the way together into the moment of now, coming back. Good. So that was just a quick perception shift. Really included a timeline travel. See, amazing what we can do in our mind. That's the way that we can hijack our brain and recode, rewire patterns fast. So now as you just think about this next week with this new choice, this new decision, this new belief, I can have what I want. And you see, I can have what I want. Just stand in the power of that. I can have what I want. I am powerful. I can have what I want. And if you can't, if there's resistance, ask, why can't I have this? And just allow all the reasons why you can't be powerful. Why you are not good enough. And just allow them to be there. And allow it to be true. And then ask, is it true? No. And choose how you want it to be. We're just peeling back layers so that we can have a massive shift when we really put focus of money and your limiting beliefs together. See, they're so entangled all the way back to pre-verbal that our emotions are so entrenched in it from our learning as a child. And I invite you to the next process. You have to register for that, and you'll be able to see and witness for yourself. You can observe it as an observer, and you can go through it as a client. This is a new demonstration of what's possible with this structure, with a structure that works when you go for what you want just because you love it. But you have to see yourself as a powerful creator. And we have resistance to that. Only when we remove that resistance can we go for what we want. Can we have the peace, the power, passion, and purpose that we all want. Look, I give away everything you'll need to make massive change in your life for free. I want to remove the blocks to money. I want to teach you the structure to go for what you want. The structure, the law of tension supersedes the law of attraction. And when you can learn to remove the resistance, create tension so it pulls you to what you want, then you are creating. Then you are a powerful creator that is serving their purpose, passion, and peace through love. I can't wait to remove the blocks to money. So it is called the 3-chair process. And it's the last one that I'll do here. But I have 30 days of practices for you to begin stepping into having and being the powerful creator that you are. So the 3-chair works great when we have a relationship, resistance to relationship with something. And money, we all have a dysfunctional relationship with money. And so I'm going to have you step into your self-conscious aspect, the you, and tell me all about money. How it is for you. What does it feel like? You're going to have a meeting with money. What does that feel like? And then you're going to leave yourself sitting in that seat and imagine you could float up to the sky and then come down as money into the other chair, having a meeting, a face-to-face meeting with yourself. And I really, really want you to imagine that you are money. You can do this because you've created what money is and isn't in your mind. You're just revealing it to yourself for the first time. Because when it's out, when it's aware, when the light has been on it, there is no longer control over us. And then we'll come in from the neutral perspective, from the higher perspective, and what needs to be known, bringing it all together. And then we'll bring it, and in the process, back in your chair as the self that you are in the meeting with money, and you can report how it is different. Wonderful. So always, as we always start, it's like, let's step into an end result. And what I choose here today is to choose a powerful creator. That is what I choose the end result. And just say, I choose the end result of being a powerful creator. And imagine around you where you see it, where you find it, and put attention to it, hold it. We are a powerful creator. Good. And just feel that emotion in there. Just allow it to go through you. Be you. You are a powerful creator. And just imagine abundance, abundance of money, abundance of resources, abundance of time, abundance of energy, abundance of power, abundance of peace, of purpose, of passion. Good. Now let's begin the process. Imagine that you're in a chair that is facing another chair. The chair is empty right now, but as you sit in your chair, picture, close your eyes if you have to, move a chair across the way from you, make it as real as possible. Feel everything you can, because the feeling of this is the catalyst, is the power. And so imagine that you are going to meet money for the first time. What does it feel like? What do you want to know? And what is the outcome from your meeting with money? Good. And just acknowledge all of the feelings and allow them to sit there with you in this chair around you, inviting all of them in for an upgrade to finally be free. There's aspects that really want to meet money, and there's aspects that do not, that are so afraid. Allow them to just be safe. Yeah. So imagine this child. Its first interaction, first introduction to money. With many introductions as you learned about the concept of money. And just as you anticipate and wait for money to show up, tell me what you are expecting. What are you anticipating? Is it a positive or is it a negative? And just explore and go into the charge. Yeah, just a child exploring. Good. And just know all that's just opened up. Everything's opened up and then nothing is going to be hurt. It's all safe. Safe space. Good. And in 3, imagine money comes and sits in. The door opens and into the room comes money. 2. Ready? Door opens and here comes money. Notice the sensation. Notice what you want to do. What do you feel like doing? You see it just so overwhelming, so big, I can't even look it in its eyes. I'm so ashamed and so embarrassed and afraid of. I want to hide. I can't look you in the face. I can't have you. I want to just get away. There's so much power and evil. I can't even see the good that we can do because you are not good. What outcome do you want with money? Yes, that one. Yeah, it's just now hold on to that outcome, allow it to be. And everything that we've just released and opened up and seen, just allow it to be there. No judgments. Anything else you would like to say to money before you leave? This self-aware consciousness. Yeah. And as you allow that out, just float up out. Imagine yourself floating up out of your body, out of that chair, all the way up to the top of the ceiling, up to the sky, up to the clouds, turning around and now come down as your image, your version, your vision of money. Be money, feel money, see through money's eyes, feel through money's senses. Just imagine that everything is money. Just imagine what money would feel like sitting next to this child, sitting next to this human. When you are become money, when you are money, you've heard, you've been here through the whole meeting, you heard how this child sees you, money. What is it like, money, sitting next to this child? Unwanted, repulsive, yeah, guilty, sad. All the great and good that you can do, it's sad. So we're going to just see the unworthy wrapped into this. Thank you. Good. What outcome? Yeah. Imagine the outcome that you want. How do you want it to be? What do you want? What do they need to know? What do you need to know? What do you need to tell yourself? Money, what does yourself need to know? Oh, so just allow money to give, to hand, to present their gift to this child. Super good. There we go. Now come up out of that, come out of both perspectives, out of your genius, out of your greatness, out of just the love, and look at these two aspects and how can they work together, bringing them closer together into one. What is obvious? What is the obvious action these two can take together? Now bring all of that learning back down into your chair, into your seat as you are today. Open up and come on back to this moment. How was meeting money? What is your obvious action? Don't forget to sign up for 30 free days. Come get some more, everything you'll need to know to live a life that you want. It's all structure. So when you're aware you're being charged, you can change it if you know how. This is the fastest way that I know how. Talk soon.